And good evening, everybody. Welcome to round 3 of the Pole Position Raceway Live Series here in the spring of 2016. We are live tonight at the Pole Position Raceway here at the Walden Galleria in Buffalo, where hour number 2 of the Pole Position Raceway Live Series will be getting underway just behind us. We're right up here at the front of the Pole Position Raceway here at Walden Galleria. And also tonight, of course, week number 3 taking place at the Pole Position Raceway locations at the Marketplace Mall in Henrietta, as well as at Destiny USA in Syracuse. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, next week is the last chance for drivers to earn points. And remember, the top 3 from each location in the point standings for Pole Position Raceway Live will go on to the Upstate 2016 Spring Championship event. That will be held at the Pole Position Raceway at Destiny USA in Syracuse, coming up in just a couple of weeks' time. Our guest tonight that will be joining us in a few minutes is a guy who's driven just about anything and everything with 4 wheels on it, and he's going to be campaigning in a modified this year, a big block dirt modified, Eric Rudolph. We're going to be talking to him not only about what he's going to be doing this season, but how he spent his winter racing indoors. Yeah, there is still indoor resurgence over the past couple of years through Len Salmons Motorsports Productions. Lenny Salmons is the editor and founder of the Area Auto Racing News trade newspaper, and he's also been promoting some indoor TQ midget races. Matter of fact, Eric won the overall championship for that indoor series this year. We'll get into that in a few minutes. Even though it was a quiet weekend racing-wise, with it being Easter weekend, there is a ton of news to talk about. Looks like there will be a full field of 40 cars at this weekend's STP 500 at Martinsville. The drivers that have to get in on speed are Ryan Blaney, Josh Wise, Reed Sorensen, and Cole Witt. Everybody else is one of the charter teams. So it looks like all 40 cars will make the race here on Sunday. And this rumor popped up a couple of years ago, and it's now starting to get some traction again. Kimi Räikkönen, racing in Formula One, of course, for Ferrari, teamed with Sebastian Vettel, has also had a start in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and he's had a start or two in the Camping World Truck Series. When his Formula One contract expires at the end of 2016, chances are very good that he may come to the U.S. and get a NASCAR ride for 2017. The speculation is that he would run for Stewart-Haas Racing. The problem with that is right now all those seats are filled. As a matter of fact, Clint Bowyer is going to take over Tony Stewart's seat at the end of the 2016 season, so that would have a team in 2017 of Kurt Busch, Clint Bowyer, Kevin Harvick, and Danica Patrick. Most of them are contracted through at least 2018 or 2019, so we're not really sure how much credence that rumor has. And there's speculation that another manufacturer may join NASCAR. Pretty strong speculation, according to NASCAR.com's Matthew Dillner. He says that Audi is preparing to enter into the NASCAR ranks. They would be the second foreign make to join, behind Toyota, who's been around for a few years now. He's pretty bold in his prediction. He says it's going to happen. It could happen as soon as 2017, perhaps 2018. Some Verizon IndyCar Series news. Team Penske announcing Tuesday that Menards will sponsor Simon Pagenaud's number 22 for 2 races, including the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500. It'll be decked out in the lime bright green Menard colors, numbered 22. They'll also be on the car when the Verizon IndyCar Series goes to Road America. This weekend, the Verizon IndyCar Series makes its first return to the Phoenix International Raceway since 2005. Another driver who has announced that he'll have a ride for the Indy 500 is Alex Tagliani. He'll be driving for A.J. Foyt Racing, driving the number 35 Honda Dallara that'll be sponsored by Alf Heat Treating. And that number 35, by the way, chosen to reflect A.J. Foyt's 35 straight starts in the Indy 500 from 1958 through 1992. The bulk of the news this week comes from the world of Formula One, and some of this stuff, quite honestly, is a little bit bizarre. Grand Prix. You know, they had a new qualifying system. So much so that the Formula One drivers actually issued their own statement through the Grand Prix because they all absolutely hate the qualifying system that was put in place really without any input from the drivers whatsoever. Formula One boss Bernie Ecclestone, meanwhile, you'll forgive him if he's not paying much attention. He's a little bit busy trying to sell Formula One. If you haven't heard about this, Ecclestone is hinting at a potential £6 billion deal in the series that's held by a holding company called CVC Capital Partners. To put that in American dollars, that's about $8.5 billion. CVC paid £1.2 billion to take over the series in 2007. Since then, they've roughly sold off half their original stake, so they still have a little over 1/3, and Ecclestone. And the deal is, if somebody buys out CVC, they have to buy out Bernie Ecclestone as well. So they're in essence buying about 41% of Formula One. And that's not all that's been going on. Check out some of this crazy stuff. Number one, Bernie says the chance of the German Grand Prix going back to the Nürburgring in 2017, not going to happen. Apparently there's been financial issues with the facility, and for about the past 9-10 years, Grand Prix to be run either at the Nürburgring or at Hockenheim in alternating years. It looks like Hockenheim may become the permanent home. And this would be considered heresy to a hardcore Formula One fan. Monza and the Italian Grand Prix may not be on the 2017 calendar. Same thing there. They have not signed a new charter agreement to host a Grand Prix in 2017. Meanwhile, the United States Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas and all was actually listed in early Formula One schedules as tentative for this year. Reason being that their funding from the state of Texas was dramatically cut. The formula they used to calculate the funding based on the amount of money that F1 brings into the Austin, Texas area, that formula was changed, so the money was cut back significantly. Combine that with the fact that last year's U.S. Grand Prix from a weather standpoint was a complete disaster. Saturday qualifying was completely washed out. People actually couldn't even get into the facility because of the severe weather. Those that were there got treated to an impromptu autograph session, but no actual racing on the track. The weather Sunday wasn't that much better. The race started in the wet, finished in the dry. But it is going to happen. What happens after that? Well, according to Bernie Ecclestone, F1 has a deal to race in Las Vegas, but there's no facility listed. There is no permanent road course in Las Vegas. The last time F1 raced in Sin City, it was on a time F1 raced in Sin City, it was on a temporary circuit that time F1 raced in Sin City, it was on a temporary circuit that time F1 raced in Sin City, it was on a temporary circuit that time F1 raced in Sin City, it was on a temporary circuit that used the parking lot and then a semi-permanent construction out of got them hurt last year. And some local news to tell you about. We now know who the promoters of Rolling Wheels Raceway Park are going to be in 2016. Bill and Kim Shea, who are the owners and promoters of Utica Rome Speedway, have announced that they've reached an agreement with Rolling Wheels Raceway Park ownership to take over for the 20 site will be up. Some of the highlights of the schedule: the opening night would be June 23rd with Crate Sportsman, Crate Late Models, and Vintage Modifieds. And then a race that a lot of people have been talking about, which is a combined Race of Champions, Dirt Modified, and Short Track Super Series Modified event will be held on Wednesday, July 13th. Events on August 4th and August 24th. Super Dirt Car Series will be there on August 17th. Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints August 11th. And the Craftsman World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series scheduled to be there there during October at the Oswego Speedway or at the brand new Central New York Raceway Park. We're not sure which one it's going to be. The actual drop dead date on that is just a couple of days away. World Racing Group executive Chris Dolak has stated that he needs to see sufficient progress on the CNYRP facility by April 1, or they will go ahead and make the move to the backup plan to do Super Dirt Week at the Oswego Speedway this year. A couple of other news and notes. Racing action this weekend downstate if you want to head down to Middletown, New York for the Hard Clay Open of the Halmar International Bob Hilbert Sportswear Short Track Super Series, fueled by VP. That'll be a 50-lapper for big block, small block modifieds, $5,000 to win, $1,000 to start. Crete Sportsman on the card as well. And speaking of Utica Rome, since we mentioned their owners and operators, Bill and Kim Shea, they made an announcement that the SUNY Canton 602 Sportsman Division will be getting something special this season, courtesy of Charles Tibbetts Masonry. They will be handing out to the third-place finisher of selected dates a brand-new Hoosier tire. So that's the latest news from the world of motorsports. When we come back, we're going to be chatting with Eric with our locations in Syracuse at Destiny USA and at Rochester at Marketplace Mall are doing Racing Madness, and it's coming up this Sunday. So there's still time for you to sign up for this. You could find out who is the fastest in a field of 32. It's kind of like a scaled-down version.
McGuire's Move-In Metal in March sales event is going strong at all 8 McGuire locations. Come get once-a-year deals on every vehicle in stock, including our massive inventory of pre-owned vehicles and certified pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs from the 18 brands we sell. Everyone is clearly marked with our upfront lowest Move-In Metal in March prices, so there's no need for stressful negotiations and never any sales pressure. And when you buy any pre-owned vehicle from McGuire, you buy with confidence, knowing every vehicle has passed a comprehensive 175-point mechanical and cosmetic inspection. Plus, you're covered with our exclusive 3-day money-back guarantee and a 30-day exchange policy. Don't love it? Simply return it. Decide to keep it, and you get our lifetime engine warranty at no additional charge. McGuire's Move-In Metal in March sales event is our biggest event of the year, and it's going on now at all 8 McGuire locations. But hurry, it all ends March 31st. The McGuire family of dealerships: Ithaca, Trumansburg, Watkins Glen, Syracuse, and quick as a click at McGuireCars.com.
This is Jewel Dolan, the business manager for the Finger Lakes Radio Group. As customers of Seneca Office Products for many years, we always receive prompt delivery and customer service. With just a phone call, Stu and his staff always help us find everything that we need, from toner to paper products to typewriter ribbons. And they deliver it right to our door, avoiding the hassle of big box stores. There is no delivery fee, and we are always greeted with a smile. So the next time you need office supplies, call Seneca Office Products at 315-568-4183 or visit them on Fall Street in Seneca Falls.
The bridal event of the year, Finger Lakes Bridal Elegance, is Sunday, April 3rd, 1 to 3:30 p.m. at the Holiday Inn in Waterloo. See in person everything local wedding professionals have to offer. Vendors include Platinum DJs, Simple Sweets, Stella and Dots, The Gould, Creekside Entertainment, 31, Pure Romance, Antoinette's Bridal, Unique, and more. Admission to Finger Lakes Bridal Elegance is free, so register to attend now at FingerLakesBridalElegance.com. That's FingerLakesBridalElegance.com. And we'll see you Sunday, April 3rd at the Waterloo Holiday Inn. Quiet Country Estates, a 55 and older manufactured home community, is expanding. 11 new home sites are ready, located on 26 acres of landscaped property with large, spacious home sites. Quiet Country Estates offers a rural setting with lots of access to shopping, hospitals, and the Finger Lakes. Stop by or call 315-539-3336 today to reserve your lot and choose the floor plan of the single-story home that works best for you, from 560 to over 2,000 square feet. Quiet Country Estates on the Waterloo-Geneva Road and online at quietcountryestates.net.
Pole Position Raceway Live.
And welcome back to Pole Position Raceway Live, coming to you tonight from the Pole Position Raceway location here at the Walden Galleria in Buffalo. You know, a lot of racers, especially next generation racers, well, it's been in their bloodline and it's been part of their family for a long time. Count this guy in as one of those next generation drivers that is joining us here tonight at the Pole Position Raceway location here at the Walden Galleria. Eric Rudolph, welcome aboard.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So if you can remember back this far, I've been asking this question to most of the drivers that we've been talking to this time around on Pole Position Raceway Live. Do you remember the first race you ever went to?
Yeah, I can remember my couple first ones I went to was at Lancaster, watching my dad finish up his career in the asphalt mods there.
We're talking about Charlie Rudolph, of course, who had a career not only driving on asphalt but on dirt, ran at Super Dirt Week, and did a whole bunch of stuff. So you basically grew up around race car shops, garages, just about anything and everything to do with racing was part of your life from a very early age.
Yeah, it started with that, and then he retired shortly after that, so I didn't really watch too many. Then after that, he in the shop next to our house, he actually crew chiefed Chuck Hochfeld for a number of years. My grandpa, who's also involved in my life at a big level, he helped guide his career as well. So I've been around it for a long time. And the first races I can remember seeing and remembering is at the convention center. I used to go there. They had kind of how this all came about, if you will. I was watching the go-karts there, and I kind of hinted towards my dad that maybe we should get one of them. The speeds for indoors were a little bit too much for my age, which was like 4 or 5 years old. So we started at Ransomville racing there. But yeah, that's kind of how it all came about. Was I was watching and then kind of hinted towards my dad that maybe I'd like to be involved. So
your first race where you were actually driving, where was that?
That was on the inner track there at Ransomville Speedway. I was going to say 19-something, but I don't know an actual number on that. I'll have to get a calculator out.
Now, how many years did you spend racing the karts, and did you just run at Ransomville, or did you branch out and go other places too?
Man, well, it started out just racing at Ransomville for the first couple of years, and then the next year raced Ransomville and maybe a little bit at Merrittville. They got a track on the inside there, and then there's also a track called Langford, which was down near Hamburg way. And then after that, I kind of started racing indoors, and from there I was going here, there, and everywhere, all the way from Indiana, North Carolina, just probably, and we were good too. We won probably about 3/4 of the races I was in. We were dominant in the indoor stuff, go-karts there.
Yeah, now that you mention, I think I remember you running at a Rumble in Fort Wayne with the kart at one point.
Yeah, I started racing in the junior levels there and won a good bunch of them, and then after a couple of years I got a 600 ride, and after a couple of years there I was one of the ones that were winning a lot of the races there.
When you talk about the 600, we're talking about the 600 micro sprint. What was the home base for that race car when you jumped up to that level?
That's actually the guy I still drive for today, Mark Laffler. That was in the early stages of everything between us. Kind of helped each other. He helped me as far as getting better as a driver, and at the same time we were trying to develop his stuff to what it is today.
As you were going through this process of going racing and winning in the karts and then jumping up and running in the 600, how much help was your dad and your grandfather through that transition period when you were starting to get older, started winning more races? Were they there all the time, kind of giving you tips, helping you out?
Oh yeah. They made it to just about every race, and as far as they had a lot of experience and everything that they had through their life, and even just outside the racing stuff, full of advice. And as far as a career goes, in my opinion, there's no one better than my dad and my grandpa. But in other people's eyes, I'm sure they could beg to differ. But to me, they're my heroes.
Well, you're a little biased. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit biased.
We're talking with Eric Rudolph here tonight on Pole Position Raceway Live. So you ran the karts, you ran the 600s. When did you and maybe the family together as a decision decide that it was time for you to step into a full-size race car?
I don't know. I was probably 15 years old or so, but I don't know what actually done it. I think what it was is we got the midget, and I raced a full year in it just to get the ropes of it. I'm still a little guy, and it was a lot of car for me to handle. And then the following year, I went out and won the TQ championship. And then, the way it was going, I was getting better and better. And by the end of the year, I was, just about unbeatable. And then, from there, you got to keep improving and challenging yourself. We couldn't just stay there and do it for another year. So we went ahead and got an asphalt sportsman there, and then did that for a year or two, and then the same thing. We got dominant again, then we had to move up to the modifieds, and from there I even went to the NASCAR Tour there. So it's a continual progression, and biggest thing with me is just always trying to challenge myself through the years.
The TQ midget, for people that don't know, those are pretty potent race cars as far as horsepower to weight ratio goes, maybe 700-800 pounds. So they're pretty nimble, they're pretty fast. Did that prepare you for stepping into that asphalt sport carburetor on it versus the motorcycle type engine?
Yeah, I would say so. Say if I went from just racing the go-karts to run one of them, I think it would have been probably too much to handle, too big of a jump. But that transition there for those couple of years, I think that was the right thing to do. I think that was best.
We're talking with Eric Rudolph here tonight on Pole Position, running the Sportsman, and before you jumped up into the Modified. And what kind of accomplishments did you have in that asphalt Sportsman car?
I remember the last year we ran. I think I ran 25 races, and I think we won 23 races. I know we went undefeated at Lancaster. I was running there weekly too, and then their special events when all the other competition came in, we beat them. And then, it just seemed like, I couldn't do anything wrong with the car. It seemed like I was, on point with the driving. The one time we got beat, fair and square, and the other time we had something break. So, you draw one up to the car and one up to competition. So, that was my last year racing. The Sportsman regularly, and then after that I went the Sportsman there and the Modified I was running out of my own shop. For the most part, running the asphalt mod, I was running it all in my own shop. I had a ride here and there for one guy out of New Jersey I'd been in. I ran the Southern Modified Tour and the Northern Modified Tour for him. And other than that, I've driven for different people through the years with the asphalt modifieds, but for the most part, I was running it on my own shop.
And in 2016, you're going to be doing something a little bit different, which you've actually already started on. We'll get to that coming up after the break, and I want to talk about the adventure of running indoors back in a TQ midget, because you not only did that this year, you won the overall championship for that indoor series. So we'll get into that with Eric Rudolph when we come back here on Pole Position Raceway Live. Another reminder, Racing Madness is coming up this Sunday, and you can register at your participating Pole Position Raceway location. Again, Destiny USA in Syracuse, Marketplace Mall in Henrietta, or here at the Walden Galleria in Buffalo. You can also go online. Go look for the link at polepositionraceway.com for Racing Madness. It's just a $10 fee and then $15 a race. And you have a chance, if you make the final four, you can win up to $150 cash if you are the fastest driver. And the neat thing about this format is that it's all based on fastest laps. It's not necessarily about how many cars you pass, it's how fast you can get around the track. If you can do it faster than everybody else, get out of that round of 32, make the 16, make the cut of 8, make it into the Final Four. Once you're in the Final Four, you're guaranteed to win something, and it could be up to $150 cash. Again, find out more on the website at polepositionraceway.com. More with Eric Rudolph coming up when we return here on Pole Position Raceway Live. I'm here at Seneca Office Products in downtown Seneca Falls with the Shopping Locally Enhances Community Enlightenment campaign. We're here to teach people how shopping locally stimulates the local economy. Now, here with me is a customer of Seneca Office Products. I see you're using a local independent office supply store. You must be quite community-minded.
Well, of course, but I come to Seneca Office Products because their prices are as low as anywhere, and their people are knowledgeable and friendly.
Do you have any parking hassles with shopping locally?
No, not at all. Sometimes I can park a few steps away from Seneca Office Products. You know, at the local supercenter, it's 10 times as far. And if I can't make it here, Seneca Office Products has delivery as well.
All right, you heard it straight from a Seneca Falls resident, how the benefits of shopping locally.
Actually, I'm from Geneva. I come to Seneca Office Products because of their knowledgeable people. Plus, their prices are as low as anywhere.
Seneca Office Products located on Fall Street in Seneca Falls. Your local, friendly, and affordable office supply store.
Bianchi Auto Body presents What to Do If You Get in an Accident. First, remember what's important, that no one is hurt. Second, deciding to go through insurance or pay out of pocket. To decide that, you must find a body shop you trust. Ask friends and family who they use. It's probably been Bianchi Auto Body. Get an estimate and discuss your insurance options with Bianchi Auto Body. They have the insurance expertise you need. Brought to you by Bianchi Auto Body, serving Auburn and all the Finger Lakes region. Lots more information available from BianchiAuto.com or call 315-253-2979.
Help, I need somebody, not just anybody. You know I need someone.
It's what you've been waiting for. A new shipment of windows is in at Builder's Bargain Outlet. Brand new American Craftsman 70 Series double hung windows, 28 by 38, low E with argon, grills, double locks, and they're Energy Star rated, starting at under $100. Windows, doors, cabinets, and building materials at unheard of prices, only at Builder's Bargain Outlet in Waterloo and Newark, next to Hep Sales and North Main Lumber.
Pole Position Raceway Live.
And welcome back to Pole Position Raceway Live. Once again, we are at the Walden Galleria Buffalo location of Pole Position Raceway. It's week number 3 of the Pole Position Raceway Live Racing Series. Drivers out on the track qualifying right now for what will be the second main event of the night that'll be coming up here in a little bit. This Pole Position Raceway Live Series runs every Tuesday from 6 until 9 p.m. This is week number 3 for the drivers that are earning points. So they have this week and next week, and then the points will be tallied up, and the top 3 point getters from each location will go on week number 5 to the Upstate Championship for spring 2016. That'll be at the Pole Position Raceway at Destiny USA in Syracuse, and we'll cover that event live here on Pole Position Raceway Live on our final edition of the program coming up. I believe the date is April 12th, if memory serves me correctly. That is the Tuesday, although I could be wrong. It's somewhere around there. That much I know. I also know that next week on the show, we're going to be at the Pole Position Raceway at Marketplace Mall in Henrietta, and our guest is going to be Billy Colton. So we'll get a little bit of a different perspective on the world of motorsports from a guy who's been intimately involved in the design. But for the past few years, your primary focus has been in a dirt race car. When did that change happen?
Oh, that change happened shortly after I got out of college. It was like, I'm 24 now. It's probably like when I was probably 20 years old. I was looking at things and trying to decide where I was going to go with a path to, what I was going to do. And really, racing is all I ever wanted to do. Just be a professional race car driver. And just kind of looking at things and doing the asphalt stuff. For a regional area, I mean, really, you have to do a lot of traveling to really give it a go. And honestly, I just felt like I was living in the wrong part of the country to be able to do something like that. You have to be from, around. And I just felt like, I wasn't really in a position to move. And to me, the smartest thing to do was start racing dirt cars. There's a lot going on. I mean, I made a schedule up this year, racing probably, midsummer I'll be racing five times a week. Early spring, like springtime now, and then the fall, you can still run 3 or 4 nights a week, and the races pay better, and that's the way I looked at it.
So first dirt start for you in a dirt car. Where did that happen?
My first ever start in a dirt type car was actually some years ago. It was at Syracuse, my first ever race. There's like 100 cars there, and we went out and got her qualified real good. Qualified third, I think it was, and got the lead early, and I ended up winning the race by like half a track. I mean, that's one of my memories that I'll always remember is that first race there in a dirt sportsman. That was some years ago. That was still when I was running the asphalt car. Someone asked me to run the dirt, but as far as the dirt modifieds go, it would be at Ransomville. Probably 4 years ago.
All right, let me get this straight. So your first start in a dirt sportsman was at the Syracuse Mile. Had you ever run a mile racetrack prior to that?
Well, I ran Loudon with the asphalt mods and stuff, but as far as the dirt car, no. I mean that's the only mile track there is right there, and it's pretty intimidating going out there for practice. But maybe my experience from the asphalt stuff gave me some edge. I don't know, but for whatever it was, I felt really comfortable with the car, and things just seemed to click for that day.
So you make the step after running the sportsman. You step up. You're running a modified at Ransomville, and this past winter, and I know you've I think done it the previous couple of years as well. You kind of took a step back in your career, but with a little bit of a different challenge because you went back to the TQ midget, and this time it was to run indoors.
Yeah, there's been some indoor races going on for the last 15 years or so down in New Jersey, but it's starting to get relived again. Starting to get back its glory, I guess you'd call it. They got like 3 races a year. We went down there, won 2 out of 3 of them with Mark Laffler there. He's got awesome cars. I feel like I got the best car out there, which makes it easy to do. But we won 2 out of 3 races this year. I felt like I was in a position to win the third one there, but just circumstances happened and prevent us from doing it. But we had an awesome indoor season this year.
How much of the TQ cars changed from the time that you were campaigning in them regularly in Western New York to what you drove, the Laffler car that you drove this year in the indoor series?
Well, my car was pretty basic. I had, straight axle, and then, Mark's car, he's got tons of, modern geometry in the front end, and along with the engines have come a long way. I feel like there's a lot more power there. And I think there's more power to be gained even yet. I'm sure next year we might even have a scotch more, and that's the thing with Mark and myself. We are, with my own stuff at home, with the dirt cars and the dirt cars I race, and as well as him. He just, we're always just constantly trying to get better, because if you don't, you won't be the best no more.
I've heard some people who have done the indoor racing in these TQs, they say driving one of those indoors is kind of like racing a Ferrari in a parking garage, because they're so quick and these tracks are so small and so tight. What's your take on that?
My take on it is that's a good comparison, but I feel like it's I've had a lot of experience. We said earlier in the show from racing the indoor go-karts. I mean that's as close as you're going to get to what I'm doing now. Obviously you got more weight you're carrying around and a lot more engine, but as far as a lot of the same theories and the way you race them is kind of similar to me.
And the surface is different, too, because you're racing on a concrete floor that actually has some type of traction compound applied, whether it's Coke syrup or brake fluid or rosin that's applied to the surface. So the track is literally changing laps.
Yeah. Time trials just at the last race here were super quick. Track had tons of bite, and if you walked across the track, like, it might literally pull your shoes off. Like, there's that much stick on the track, that much rubber. And then for whatever reason later on, come race time, the track changed and it was actually really slippery. So Mark and myself, we kept an eye on the track obviously and made the proper adjustments. And we got the car perfect, and maybe luck or skill or combination of both, but we hit it right on, and it was started outside pole, got the lead on the first lap and never looked back.
And that was at the Battle of Trenton, I believe it was. That was the final race of the season.
That was the last one. We won that, and then got the championship all on the same night there.
Yeah, the 3 races were contested at the arena in Allentown, Pennsylvania. The benchmark race that's been around the longest in this resurgence is at Boardman.
Felt good. Felt good, especially being the winner for last year. We actually won the championship as well, and then the year before that we had a little bit off year with some luck. But the year before that, I think we either won the championship or second place there. So, we in western Pennsylvania there. Again, Randy's car, we've got a pair of top 5s. I had a really good chance at winning the race. I was leading for about 15 laps, the lead on lap 10. I was leading for like 15 laps, and then I must have hit something or whatever, and then the tire went flat. So I finished the last 15 laps on the wheel. On the left front was completely flat. And probably cost me the win, but to bring Whistler being right there in fourth, we were really happy. It's a good start to the year, and there's tons of races to go here, and we'll be right in the thick of things here soon. And
if I remember correctly, it's a BRP Tour race at Mercer last weekend. What was the competition like there?
It's tough to tell. I think it's really good competition. It's different because those group of guys you won't see come up really too much to the Central New York track, the Central New York tracks there. So it's hard to really get a good gauge on who's who or who's doing what. But there's no slouches down there, that's for sure.
And now that's come to pass, and you run Mercer, going to Middletown this weekend for the Hard Clay Open.
Yeah, we'll be at the Hard Clay Open this year. It'll be Randy, myself, heading down Saturday. The weather looks just a little bit iffy, but it should clear up, and we'll be going down there. Last year, we didn't run as well as we would like to. The cars are all ready to go already. Just do a few last things to get everything organized, and then we'll be on our way. And, hope for similar results as last weekend, if not a win.
And then outside of the special events here and there that you're going to be running at various racetracks, what's the home base? What's the typical weekend going to look like for you and the Randy Chrysler operation?
Well, me and the Randy Chrysler operation with the big block there, we kind of just run where the better paying races are, and special events or something that we want to go to. With the weekly stuff, probably running Ransomville and Merrittville for the majority of the time, unless there's somewhere else to go. But with that, we'll be running the number 62 car owned by Rob Clark. I ran that car at Merrittville in the later stages of the year. Got to win with the car. I'll tell you, we got lots of seconds. A lot of, seconds great, but you'd like to win. We got a lot of seconds with that car. Got a big win at Humberstone towards the end. Of the year to kind of carry the momentum to this year. So we're really excited. 25 cars that will be ready to go for special events as well, small block special events, probably with that before.
And not really much plans in the way of doing any asphalt racing this summer unless maybe something comes along, right time, right place.
Yeah, as of now, I don't have any plans to run any asphalt stuff. If I did, I would try to maybe hook up someone to run the ROC tour. That it's kind of a Western New York rooted. They got a fair number of races at Lancaster and a fair number at Spencer and Oswego. I like going there. Those would be the tracks I'd be interested in doing there.
I was talking to Otto Sidderly last week. He's a 7-time Oswego Speedway track champion, and he was talking about how cool he thought it would be if Super Dirt Week lines up at Oswego. You've driven Oswego in an asphalt car. How much would you like to drive that with a dirt surface on it in a dirt car?
I don't know. It might be strange for me because I've driven so many races there and turned so many laps there in asphalt modified. Actually, that's probably my favorite asphalt track when I was racing, was going there and turning laps. It's just, I don't know what it is. A lot of people do say that it is their favorite track for whatever reason. But that was one of my favorite tracks. But I don't know, might be different with a dirt car. Maybe we'll have to find out. I guess in the coming months here, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to be at a track that nobody's seen yet, which would be Central New York Raceway Park on a synthetic dirt surface, which is going to be a completely neutral territory for everybody if ever there was such a thing.
Right, yeah. I mean, I was following it for a little bit, and then I kind of just lost interest on what's going on there. I don't know if they'll be ready, ready for Dirt Week or not, but, it's glad to see that, Dirt stepped up and made sure there's a backup plan at least.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's give a shout-out to the people that are helping you out, any sponsors that are with you, either with the Clark operation, the Chrysler operation, or your own cars, crew guys, anybody you want to give a shout-out to.
Man, you got so many supporters and fans and everything. The 25 car, I got a lot of the same sponsors coming back. Snyder will be back. I actually got Mohawk and Gaines Electric on there, new for this year, Brigham Concrete, and all the guys in the shop. Usually we work on a Monday, and then that's about it. Maybe set up on Tuesday. Everyone meets up on Monday, and we do a good job of getting everything done quick. All the guys at Randy's shop there, like to thank them. Randy's, what he's done for me. He's kind of made my, made it all happen for me in the last couple of years here. That's all I ever want to do is just be a professional race car driver and make my living doing it, and feel blessed that I have an opportunity to do that. And Rob Clark, that's going to be the small block car, the green and black small block car. You see that at Merrittville and Ransomville, and as well as special events there. That's kind of a new deal that we're putting together, so I'm getting anxious to get that going. But there's a lot to be excited for. A lot of big things going to happen, and I hope all the fans continue their support and keep an eye on what's going on and come out and support our teams.
All right, final question: if there was one racetrack that you could drive before you...
I don't know. I don't know. There are so many that I haven't gotten to. You might not even know your favorite track till you. For me, I had a chance to. When I was running the asphalt cars, I had a chance to run a road course, and I thought that was just the coolest thing. They put a 4-speed in it. And was going out there just banging through the gears. I think that might be something I'd be interested in trying again. just because I had a lot of fun doing it. Maybe another road course doing I don't know what, but to me that was a lot of fun when I was doing it.
Was that a Lime Rock with the asphalt modified?
Yeah, we did really well there. Never had any good good finishes there, but we were always right up there in time trials, first or second, turning fast laps.
That must have felt kind of weird. I mean, did they run the track clockwise to accommodate for the left side weight? Or?
There was only one left turn.
Wow.
Only one left turn, all right-hand turns. Well, they said they couldn't really put it in reverse because, all the barricades, everything is lined up to go a certain way.
Right.
So they have to send you out there in a certain way. But as far as just driving on a track and just having fun, that was one of the most fun I had was just, especially relearning because for most people that was their first time doing that sort of thing. So everyone was at the same level, learning at the same speed. It was basically who came down to who could learn it faster.
Very cool. Well, good luck this year, and thanks for stopping by here this evening. Much appreciated, man. Good to talk to you.
Yep, thanks for having me on. Have me on sometime.
All right. Eric Rudolph joining us here. We'll come back and wrap up this week's edition of Pole Position Raceway Live and give you a preview of next week's show when we come back.
This is Pole Position Raceway Live.
Quiet Country Estates, a 55 and older manufactured home community, is expanding. 11 new home sites are ready, located on 26 acres of landscaped property with large, spacious home sites. Quiet Country Estates offers a rural setting with lots of access to shopping, hospitals, and the Finger Lakes. Stop by or call 315-539-3336 today to reserve your lot and choose the floor plan of the single-story home that works best for you, from 560 to over 2,000 square feet. Quiet Country Estates on the Waterloo Geneva Road and online at quietcountryastates.net.
McGuire's Move-In Metal in March sales event is going strong at all 8 McGuire locations. Come get once-a-year deals on every vehicle in stock, including our massive inventory of pre-owned vehicles and certified pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs from the 18 brands we sell. Every one is clearly marked with our upfront lowest Move-In Metal in March prices, so there's no need for stressful negotiations and never any sales pressure. And when you buy any pre-owned vehicle from McGuire, you buy with confidence, knowing every vehicle has passed a comprehensive 175-point mechanical and cosmetic inspection. Plus, you're covered with our exclusive 3-day money-back guarantee and a 30-day exchange policy. Don't love it? Simply return it. Decide to keep it, and you get our lifetime engine warranty at no additional charge. McGuire's Move-In Metal in March sales event is our biggest event of the year, and it's going on now at all 8 McGuire locations. But hurry, it all ends March 31st. The McGuire family of dealerships: Ithaca, Trumansburg, Watkins Glen, Syracuse, and quick as a click at McGuireCars.com.
This is Jewel Dolan, the business manager for the Finger Lakes Radio Group. As customers of Seneca Office Products for many years, we always receive prompt delivery and customer service. With just a phone call, Stu and his staff always help us find everything that we need, from toner to paper products to typewriter ribbons. And they deliver it right to our door, avoiding the hassle of big box stores. There is no delivery fee, and we are always greeted with a smile. So the next time you need office supplies, call Seneca Office Products at 315-568-4183 or visit them on
Position Raceway Live.
And welcome back to Pole Position Raceway Live here from the Walden Galleria location of Pole Position Raceway. Don't forget our other locations at Marketplace Mall, Henrietta, where we'll be taking the show next week, visiting with Billy Colton from Troyer Engineering, which will be kind of an interesting conversation because we're going to get into the nuts and the bolts of race cars, something we haven't really had a chance to do yet on an edition of Pole Position Raceway Live. Billy has been involved with Troyer Engineering forever, building both asphalt modified and dirt modified cars. Billy's been through a lot of the technological changes that have happened in both of those disciplines, and we'll get a chance to talk about that with him next week here on the program. Then coming up in 2 weeks' time, we'll be at the Upstate Spring Championship, and that'll be at the Pole Position Raceway at Destiny USA in Syracuse. Our guest that night is going to be Lightning Larry White from the a big block modified, a 360 sprint car, or a dirt late model. And, of course, that night, we'll crossway at Walden Galleria, Buffalo. Jerry Hipp won main event. His fastest lap of the race was a 22:5:27. Brandon Semiak was second. His fastest lap was it looks like a 22:722. Or, excuse me, Jeff Hippert was second. His fastest lap was a 22:705. Brandon Semiak third at a 22:832. David Griffin fourth. Fast lap was a 23:258. And Korliski was fifth with a 23:761 as a fast lap. And again, drivers not only here at Pole Position Raceway in Buffalo, but also in Rochester and Syracuse that are running the live series. They have tonight and next Tuesday night as the final opportunities to earn points toward the championship. The top three in points from each of the respective locations will be at Destiny USA in Syracuse for the right to be crowned the Upstate 2016 Spring Champion. Once again, we want to remind you about Racing Madness. It's only a few days away. While you've been busy watching that tournament thing on television, we've been busy putting together a little tournament for you, the racing enthusiast, race fan, or racer. You can sign up at a pole position near you. Each location will be doing their Racing Madness on Sunday starting at 5 o'clock in the evening. It's a one-time registration fee of $10, and then it's $15 per race. What do you get? Well, you get the opportunity to square off first in a round of 32, and it's not about how many cars you pass. It's about turning the fastest lap. Make the 16 fastest, you make the cut into round number 2, or the Sweet 16. Make the cut of 8 into round 3, you're in the Elite 8. Make the cut into the Final 4, you're guaranteed a prize that could be up to $150 cash if you are the fastest of the Final 4, and everybody who is in the top 4 earns prizes. Again, if you want to register, you can go to your Pole Position Raceway location to register in person, or go to polepositionraceway.com and find out more on the web. You can also check out the respective Facebook pages, which are Pole Position Raceway Syracuse, Pole Position Raceway Rochester, and Pole Position Raceway Buffalo. And don't forget racing action happening this weekend at the Hard Clay Open, the opener for the northern version of the Short Track Super Series. That is at the Orange County Fair Speedway in Middletown, New York, affectionately known as the Hard Clay. They'll also be running the 602 Crate Sportsman on the card there, and hopefully Mother Nature is going to be nice enough to allow that event to Sportsman on the card there, and hopefully Mother Nature is going to be nice enough to.
Breaking news and emergency weather. 98.1 and 1590 WAUB Auburn and 96.1 and 1240 WGVA Geneva. Finger Lakes News Radio. Breaking news and emergency weather. 98.1 and 1590 WAUB Auburn and 96.1 and 1240 WGVA Geneva. Finger Lakes News Radio.
Mother Nature is going to be nice enough to allow that event to happen this weekend locally here.